So we've just sort of stepped out in some of the areas we've been looking at, and the first thing that caught my eye was a fairly small diameter elm, but it's really in a perfect stage that we're looking for, where the bark has started to slough off, but it's not completely off, it's not completely bare. So it's, it's relatively, the death process isn't, complete. And sure enough, if you come up close here, here's a big Morel. And this one's actually a little past prime. It's not one that we'll keep, but it's a nice sized one if we'd been here maybe a day and a half ago. And of course you always want to really kind of just stop and take some time to look around. And when you get down like this, things come into much better focus. And I look up right in front of me. And here's another Morel. And that one's in good shape, and we'll keep that one. And I look in front of me again. And right up under here is one that's hiding. And again, really a nice one. We'll leave the spider. And less sand because it's up there in the grass. So I like that. And I'm pretty sure there's some more here, so I'm just going to keep. Yep, here's one up here. And one may look a little small, but you see this rust coloring. It's really starting to reach kind of its limit. And also the top has started to open. Could be from a nibbler, but this mushroom isn't going to be around for more than another day or two, so we'll take him. And another little group here, which is really nice. Actually, there's 3 of them tied in here. And of course, it's always great when you come out with somebody, because four eyes are definitely better than 2. And the man behind the camera, Austin Lindstrom, just spotted another. And here is that one. And again, it's a little bit smaller one, but that rust is starting to form, that rust color. And it's open at the top again. So we'll take that one with. We're next to a small pair of dying elms, and really dead elms. Actually, the bark is not sloughed off this tree yet, but I still like to come and check. And if you get down low, and the first 2 pop into vision here, and that's really in beautiful shape. And here's another small one popping up here. If I look out in front of me, there's another one about a foot or so in front of the log I can see. And it'll be a similar routine. You see that they're, I'd say most typically they're probably 5 to 10 feet from the tree, but I've seen them as far as, 25, 35 yards from a tree. So, you really have to spend some time and be patient. Even small ones like this, as you point them out, it looks really obvious, but it actually serves a purpose to get down on your haunches like this and just sit for a minute and let things come into focus. You'll find many more mushrooms doing that than just walking along and looking at the ground. So I'm taking my own advice a step further, and I'm really getting down low. But it's actually really nice. There's one here. Here's one down here. There's a group of 2. Over here is another group of 2. And you can see, you know, they're awfully well camouflaged, so you really do have to take your time. By the way, there's a lot of talk whether or not you should pinch morel mushrooms off like I'm doing or cut them. I often hear people speculate that it harms the body of the mushroom underneath the soil. It really doesn't. You know, it's probably not a great idea to be yanking them out, and probably not helpful. But if you're pinching them off at the base there, it's really, it's the same as you would consider picking an apple from an apple tree. It's really not harming the body of mycelium underneath. So I was just telling Austin as we're walking through this area that although most times I am, you know, really looking for those dead elms and dying elms we've been talking about, I often like to check areas that have sort of a grouping of very young elms. You know, they might be 15 feet high or so, but they're about the diameter of these trees you're seeing next to me. But these are actually aspen poplar trees that are mixed in with that. And then to sort of complement it, we have this perfect, nice drainage ditch. So it's going to stay well hydrated, better than the surrounding area. And as I came down, the area I'm standing in is full of morels. There's probably 25 or more morels around me. You know, there's one here right in front of me. Here's a couple sitting here in front of me. There's a couple more. There's one up here. There's 4 or 5 beautiful ones up top here. And all the way up and down, I could continue to point out morels. So, you know, another place to not pass up. I wouldn't make it my primary goal, but you know, if you're going by it, it just often pays to take a peek, especially when you have all 3 of those factors coming together. We've been climbing a lot of hills, as you can probably tell. Bright sun, top of the hill, probably 1,000-foot elevation difference. And if you look behind me, it's really mostly an open area. But there are elms, and there are morels growing in the grass, which is something not everybody sees that often. But you know, it's a great lesson about, especially earlier in the year. There's a row of elms right there, and you see how far we are from that first elm. It's quite a distance. Do not overlook it just because it seems to be an open grassy area. They often produce some of the biggest morels that I find.